Hello, welcome to the DOM Basics, where we are going to learn the basics of the DOM. It is very important way of a JavaScript programming to interact with the DOM, and this is where the real project starts. The DOM, document.query selectors, and all those things. They are where how the real JavaScript projects works. So let's don't waste time and let's get started. So let me show my screen. Okay, so it is done. So what I have done, I am doing is I have created a HTML file, and it is a normal HTML file with some a header is there, a section is there, a contain section with a class container, a form is there, and UL of users is there, and something is commented out which we are going to use soon, and then there is a main.js attached, and a CSS file is also attached to it, styles.css to see. And this is the styles.css. I'm not going to go through it because this will be there in the GitHub. So because this is not a CSS class, this is a JavaScript class, so you can go through it. So it's a nice style is there. And if I come here and now I will go live, and so it will show like this. So now what we are going to do, we are going to start our main.js. Okay, let me do one more thing. Let me bring it here, and let me make it a bit smaller, and we are okay with it, means anyways. Okay, so we'll learn like this. Okay, so the main thing is there are many first let's see the window object, console.log of window. So what is this window? So let me open my console, then I can see it. Console is there. Okay, so save it and see, this is the window object. It has got many important properties like alert is there, so alert the pop-up which comes, alert is there, fetch is there. Fetch is very important, the API by which we can do the through which we can do the API calls to anything. We don't need to install anything nowadays, so the fetch is also there. Then our main thing is there. Yeah, this document is very important. With this document we can select anything, so this document is very important. So all these things are there, so just wanted to tell this thing. Okay, so it's okay. So let me comment this out, and then I will first learn to grab single element, how to grab a single element. So that is very important to know. So there is this my form is there, which is ID. It is very important to know this is ID. So we will grab this. Okay, so const form equal to document dot get element by ID will do, and this my form I'll do. So get element by ID and my form I'll do. Save it, and now I have to see it. So and this form, so I'm storing it in a variable. Get element by ID gets the element by ID. So what it gets by ID, so let me see it. Inspect console, so it gets the complete form. See, it is get the complete form. I can use the complete form. So like get element by ID, there is a query selector also, so let us see that. So directly, instead of declaring a variable, let us do it directly. Document, I should spell it right, document dot query, why it is not coming, query selector, document dot query selector dot container, and let me do one more, which is h1. So see, this query selector is much more powerful than get element by ID. It can use at different places. What is this container? So this dot container is this whole container, but it's a class, so we have to give a dot, and if we have to select some element, we have to give h1 form, anything we can select like that. Means this query selector is much more powerful. See, get element by id, we can only get that. There is something known as get element by class name also, so they are specific, and this can be used in a general way, query selector. So let me save it. See this, I am selecting the section container and h1 with this, so we can do that. Okay, so now we will select multiple items. How to select multiple items? So let us learn that. Select multiple items. Okay, so here I can do the console log document dot get elements. So okay, so let me also uncomment this. Okay, so as I have told, I will uncomment it. So get elements by class name. So see, this item is there. Okay, this item is there, so it has got it is there in multiple classes. Okay, this li item is there in multiple classes, so I am selecting that only. Get elements by class name, I will select elements by class name and item, and similarly get elements by, I can select by tag name, and let me select li. See the HTML collection, it is coming. Okay, so this HTML collection, it is coming. Okay, so there is another thing to select the multiple element, which is again the same query selector. So we will write that also, clg. Actually that is much better in a way, I will tell it soon. So query selector all, but it is query selector all, not query selector. So these tags are a bit different, and I will do dot item dot item, the same thing. That item is item is this thing, and li is also this thing. So let me save it. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me get rid of this, and see, one thing to notice is that, see, this is a node list, query selector, and these are all HTML collection. So what are different? They are actually not array. Even the node list is not an array, and HTML collection is not an array. They seems like an array, and they have many properties like an array, but actually they are not array. So what is that thing? So iterating is a bit difficult HTML collection than in the node list, as in the query selector. Why it is different, difficult? So let me show. Iterating. Okay, iterating const node items equal to document dot query selector all, document dot query selector all item, query selector all item, same thing. I'm just putting it in a document dot query selector all item, and anything I can take. Let me take this one. Okay, const call items equal to like this. Now the higher order matters, like the for each. Nowadays everybody uses for each, so that you can learn in the ES6 part. Okay, so node items dot for each item and clg console.log item. So this is so simple to do it like this. Okay, so let me comment out this. and save it. See, it is so easy to do the console log like this. Now I'll do the same thing with call items. I will try to do it. I cannot do it. So it is giving an error. The for each is not a function, it's not defined, so we cannot use it like this. So this will give error. So the way to use it is a normal for loop we can use. So normal for loop, see, again the normal for loop is I have to give so many things. I is equal to 0, I is less than call items dot length I plus I plus plus, and then clg call items I is there, save it, and see I'm getting now this. If I comment it out, yeah, I got all those things. So this is the way to do it. So this is one of the drawback. Okay, so that is there. Now let me comment this out, and I'll show this item 1, item 2 is there. So there is a something known as remove. We can remove it with that remove. Okay, const ul equal to document dot query const ul equal document dot query selector dot items is there. So query selector dot items, again I have done this items. Okay, items is again this one ul. Okay, so ul I am doing this, and ul dot remove, I can directly remove it from the DOM, save it, it is removed from the DOM. Okay, so it is like that. Now we will learn about DOM manipulations, which is very important. DOM manipulation. The same thing I will take. Okay, the same thing I will take, and okay, so we can add anything, remove anything with this JavaScript. We can add anything to the HTML, we can remove anything to the HTML. So we will learn about those things. Okay, so how to do it? I've selected this items ul I have selected. Now let us change the content of all this item 1, item 2, item 3. So we can easily do those things in JavaScript. Ul, let me increase the font size a bit. I should have done it earlier. Ul dot first element child. So first element child is there. So first element child means what is the first element of ul, it will do that. And there is something known as text content. So what is the text content inside it, it will do. And this is html I will do, and if I save it, see, it will change to html. So text content means whatever inside it is item 1, and first child is li. Ul of first child of ul is this li. Okay, so this is there. Then ul dot first element, we'll use, there are different ways to do this. So I will do the children. There is something known as children also. Children of first, and dot inner text equal to css is there. So the inner text is another thing. So see, inner text css I have done. Okay, the next thing we will do is ul dot, there is something known as last element child dot inner html equal to b and java script. So what I am doing here, this inner html is different than inner text. You can put HTML here in it. All the HTML you will put, it will come. So not this, save it. See, it is bold. Bold is a HTML tag. So I am able to do that. Okay. So similarly, I will choose this button also. Const button equal to document dot query selector dot btn and a bit button I have selected because see, if you come here, this has got a class button. Okay, so I have selected a button. Now btn dot style dot background and background color, so I have to use camel case here. Background color equal to, maybe I will make it blue, and btn dot style dot color equal to, not green is not blue and green is not good, white I will give. So this way we can even change the background color. See, the background color blue and white, it is been changed. So this is the way in which we can do that. So now so we can manipulate it DOM. Now we will learn another thing which is very important, which is event listeners. Event listeners we will learn. So everything in this document have an event listener, means you can click on something and there will be, so first we have to attach that event listener, then we have to move forward. So const button equal to, we'll attach an event listener to the button, so dot btn, and we will have a const ul. So ul we will do document dot query selector items. I will do, items I will do, and just comment this out. Okay, so wait, I will comment this out because we have to select those things only. Okay, btn dot add event listener. So this is how we add event listener. So one of the main event listeners is a click event listener. So in this button we will have a click event. A button generally have a click event. Whenever you go to a site, you click a button, so it is like having a click event, and it is known by this. So first parameter is take the event, and second parameter is a function. With the function we can give it here also and outside also. We will soon see how we can give it outside. Okay, e is there, then e dot prevent default. This is very important. E dot prevent default. Why it is very important, e dot prevent default? Because by default what happens in a form it submits to PHP, that is the old function, so we have to prevent that original thing from happening. Okay, so then document dot query selector, not all, query selector, I want to select the hash my form. So my hash my form, as you can see, it is there. We have no the whole form I am selecting, dot style dot background color equal to hash ccc. So this will not affect now. Whenever I click on it, then only this will do. Okay, now why I am doing this, I have not commented this out because I will do this here also. Okay, so now let me comment this all out. So now what I have done, see what I have done, whenever I click, then only these things will change. So by default it is like this, but I come here, click it, then the background is also changed, and this all three are changed. So there was a click listener here. Okay, so like click listener, there are other things also are there, like mouse over is also there. So if I save it and I bring the mouse over it, okay, but that is not a good experience, so I will make it back to click. Okay, so this is there. Now we will learn to submit a form. Actually this is very important stuff, submitting a form, which is generally always done. So let us learn that. Submit the form, and for that const, so we'll submit this thing in this same form, const my form equal to, okay, let us comment this out again. I don't want this now. Const my form equal to document dot query selector my form. Yeah, it is right. Const name input equal to document dot query selector so what I am selecting, see name input, see if you go to the name, there is an ID of name, so I am selecting that. Similarly, const email input equal to document dot query selector hash email I will do, okay, and const msg equal to document dot query selector, not this is not hash, this is dot msg this div, empty div, this is an empty div. After this add user, this is an empty div dot msg I have selected, and there is a hash users also, this also is an empty ul. I will select that also. Const user list equal to document dot query selector hash users, yeah, users is there, so I'll do that. And then my form dot add event listener, it is a submit event listener, because when we, this is the form, it has got a submit thing also, although there is a button which is input type submit, so when we click on it or press enter, it will submit. So a form have a event listener, special type of event listener known as submit, okay. So this submit is there. Then after that I can write a function here also, like this the function which I have written, so I can write it outside also. So I will show how to write it outside. So let us see how to write it outside. So on mit on submit is there, and then no, I don't want that. So then I will write it outside, function on submit, and it will take e as always, and then it will take e dot prevent default I will do, and then if name input dot value, so I am doing some checking also here. If name input dot value, see is on submit will happen when I click on the submit, okay. Function e dot value triple equal to empty string, or email input is also empty string. So let me bring email input is also empty string. So what will happen? So if both of them are empty string, then means the user submitted an empty form. That means the user submitted an empty form. So msg dot class list. So there is something known as class list. Class list dot add and error. Add error. msg dot class list dot add error. So class list msg is this is the msg, and the class list dot add error means there is something known as this error is there, which is already there. This error it will add, msg dot class list dot add error it will add, and then msg dot inner html equal to please enter all fields, I'll do, and okay. So let me save it and let me try to submit it like this, please enter all fields. But the problem is that this error will not go, and I want this error to go, okay. So how this error should go? There is another function known as set timeout in JavaScript. Set timeout is there, and I can do the remove thing which we had learned earlier. msg dot remove is there, and then After 5 seconds is a lot of time. Let me remove after 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds I will remove it. After 3 seconds I will remove it. Let me save it. Let me click again. 1 2 3. Yeah, it is removed after 3 seconds. So this is how the checking we can do. A simple validation we have done with JavaScript. So the another thing is that if the user entered both of the fields, then what? So then the else part will be there, else part. So we are not submitting to backend API and all those things. They are beyond this course. And const li, at least this DOM basics. So they are on the later on the projects. Okay, document dot, there is something known as create element. Yeah, we can also create element with JavaScript. Means create element means HTML element, not only append to it like that. So we are creating an element known as li. So li dot append child, I am doing li dot append child. I want in a different line, not in the same line. Li dot append child, and again we have to do document dot create text node. Document dot create text node I have to do, and then I have to do like this. So create text node, it's actually creates the text node. Document dot create text node, it will create the text node. Then it is like this. In the template string I'm doing, and then name input dot value. So name input, I want to do this name input dot value, and email input dot value. So whatever the user have given here, I want to actually print this thing, name input dot value and email input dot value. Document dot create text node, and then there is user list dot append child li. So what is this user list? User list is nothing but the ul. So inside this unordered list I'm creating the li with this. Okay, list dot unordered list dot li. So let me save it, and let me give like this, and see, it will be added, but this is remaining here, this is not going away. So this is not a good user experience. So name input dot value, I will make it empty, and email input dot value, I'll make that empty also. See what now what will happen, like I will give this and submit Nabindu, and like this I will submit, so it will add it. So this is the way to show it, and this is a very good small project for you to complete. So with this we complete our DOM basic. Please do the JavaScript projects also, so you can learn better. So thank you.